This is an extract of a piece called Yahé Trips to the Future. Running on empty now, actually running on nothing. Actually, the engine is off. We are in free fall, a free roll. Down, down, crashing down on darkening rocks larger than our wheels, into the distance where the smoke is rising, from behind where the sun is sinking. Forward thinking now, yes, we are doing that. Or we are going to do that. We are off to take hallucinogenic plants and make some political decisions. Our driver doesn't seem to think the gas is necessary all the time, hence the free fall, unless we are going uphill. So we keep on rolling until we almost stop. In the car we are definitely too many, maybe 8. Andreas seems to be suspended in the air, in between a shaman and a sleeping boy. His mother is also sleeping. There is also a father and a daughter, a guy from the jungle, myself and the driver in the front. No one is speaking, but there is nothing much to say anyway. Later, Andreas would tell me, yes, remember, we were in La Mota. I said, how did you know? He said that on the side of the road when we entered the forest, it was written on a wooden sign with paint. I'm pretty sure that we are the only ones who know where and what in the world La Mota is, but anyway, that's where we are, in La Mota, in a car, moving with the engine switched off with some guys who we don't really know, but we know that they just took 30 military soldiers and 4 FARC members hostage yesterday. It occurs to me, as we roll, that this might be the stupidest situation I've ever put myself in. After a few more horrifying minutes of personal self-assessment, I conclude that yes, this is pretty fucking stupid. Then I feel something close to what I think true terror must be. It's sinking in, so much so that I cannot speak or move, only allow myself to be carried further into the dark forest. We have been staying with the Regional Indigenous Council of Cauca in southwestern Colombia. They are called Creek. A few days before we arrived, an indigenous community in the north took over a military base, filling in its trenches and carrying out crying soldiers. Now, and pretty much always before, they have been in the middle of a war, maybe more than just one. Yesterday we called the head legal counselor of Crick for an interview. He simply said, "We are being killed." That morning, one of their guards had been shot in the back of the head by the military. The story goes, a young man woke up early in the morning to go make breakfast for his brothers. Somewhere along the way, he passed a military checkpoint and was killed. At first, the army refused to uncover the body, claiming that he was a soldier who committed suicide. The people gathered and gathered and eventually forced the body to be uncovered, revealing the dead guard. Then they took the soldiers hostage until they confessed, and that was only yesterday. So finally we arrived to our destination, behind a locked gate, in a small house with what looks like empty cow stalls in the back, a real horror film in the making. It's almost completely night now. Andreas and I look at each other for the first time since the car journey began and realize that we both feel the same degree of terror. But there is work to be done, yeah? I am, after all, out here to conduct interviews, write a master's thesis, and other activities that are not compatible with tripping out of my mind. Or maybe they are compatible. I guess I will find out soon enough. But I'm still fucking terrified of drinking this shit. And actually, I really need to take a shit. That is what mainly goes through my mind as we interview a counselor named Olinto about the effects of the herbicide glyphosate, which is used in the aerial fumigation of coca plants on traditional indigenous campesino farms. I remember my housemate in Brooklyn, a real new waver, telling me about the uncontrolled bowels of Yahé, as in you tend to shit yourself a lot. And as Olinto tells us about herbicides manifesting into larger quantities with larger problems in the environment, my terror is manifesting itself into a larger and larger shit. And I am thinking that this is all going to come out quite badly in not too long. Olinto is mixing himself some mambe, a drink made from coca. and a whole lot of other stuff I don't know the names of. The drink has similar hallucinogenic properties as yahe, so I am thinking that maybe mambe might be better to drink tonight. He says no, telling us that at least while taking yahe, you only have to control one point of entry into your mind. In mambe, you have to control 6. Olinto threw up for about 8 hours that night. The shaman, or taita as they are called here, starts to chant inside. Now's the moment. We are being ushered in. It is very important to go through all the rituals before drinking yahe. This is another thing we've been told. But something else is more important and needs to be addressed before we go inside. So I take Andreas aside. It turns out that he has a similar manifestation, and a decision is made to go into the field and to take care of it. Much, much later, after drinking and chanting and throwing up, the sky is filled with silent red lightning, which I am told is happening many miles away over the mountains, off the coast, over the sea, somewhere in between night and day, terror and healing. We are all having visions. Visions of guerrillas and soldiers with guns and indigenous leaders with colorful sticks, the people uprising on the occupied soil, the plants which grow from this ground, the animals moving on its surface, the whole earth itself unable to breathe through the floorboards. Thank you.